Okay, so this is the last video in a 6-part series called My Drug Saga. And to start from the beginning, just click the link right there, and it'll take you to a playlist where you can start from all the way to the beginning of this whole mad affair, so you'll be caught up on what you're seeing right now, because this is the finale. And if you're already caught up and you've already seen those previous videos, then I love you, and let's start the show.
I think Greg got up there way ahead of time. I don't know what he's doing.
Now that I ate 20 minutes ago, it's kicking in.
It takes 20 minutes for your stomach and your brain to realize how much is in there.
I didn't make it. I know. After all that ranting and raving about how Concerta was holding me back and preventing me from being the person I always wanted to be, I come to you today to say that I'm back on 36 milligrams of Concerta, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm totally happy with this decision. I'm cool and content with it. Everything is awesome. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be confused, like, why the shift? Why are you doing this? Last week you were off this stuff. Wasn't it okay? And I have to tell you, it wasn't. You know what? You could also say that I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe I should be weaning myself off of this stuff longer, like maybe going from 36 to 18 or trying other methods to sort of deal with the chemical imbalance. But you know what? I'm happy with 36 milligrams right now. I don't feel slighted. I don't feel like it's really crippling my identity or anything like that. I feel like it's right. I mean, along the road, if a doctor tells me, like, maybe you shouldn't be taking this shit anymore, then I'll definitely drop it. But for right now, I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. You see, Concerta makes me focused, it keeps me well-behaved, it keeps me motivated, it keeps me engaged and present and really happy about life, albeit on a small dose. I mean, if I'm on 54 milligrams or 72, it's too much, and I become too insular and too in my head all the time. But at the right dose, Concerta gives me all the things I always wanted, or that I've always wanted to feel. Whereas when I'm not on it, I kind of just become a mess. On those days when I went off the drugs, it was okay. I mean, I still had to go through the 3 days of withdrawal. I mean, you can't avoid that. You can't just sort of be on a drug for so long and then just drop it and expect everything to be okay. There is a trial where your body has to regulate and get used to that transition. But after about 3 days of just kind of, oh, this is terrible, I woke up one morning and felt like, hey, I'm pretty good. But I also felt unproductive, I felt unmotivated, and I felt like a total couch potato. I mean, I literally just sort of got out of bed, did a few things that were super challenging because I wasn't being stimulated, and then I just was a couch potato. I just chilled out in the living room, and the clock flipped from 1 to 5, and I didn't care. I didn't care that I was wasting time. I didn't care that I was just chilling out, and it was all right. Like, it was cool. I mean, being off of Concerta for me is great for a world without task or worry. But unfortunately for me, that world stopped existing around the age of 9. I have to be productive. I have to push myself. I have to get out there and really make the most of what I've got. I can't be a kid forever. So for right now, I have to sort of just be taking these drugs. So a lot of people are probably going to be like, whoa, Greg, what are you doing? Last few months, and you've been making all this effort to try to go off of this stuff, and now you're just going to go back to pretty much where you started, albeit on a smaller dose. Why are you doing this? Because it just feels right. And then I think there are going to be people who are saying, like, well, why did you go through all this trouble? Why make all these videos then? Because I'm a very dramatic person, and I like expressing these feelings, and I like trying to figure it out as I'm going through it. But at the same time, I have to say, I did it for this person that I think I want you all to meet. I'm about to show you a video. It's from when I was 3 years old. It was Christmas 1995. And I was a bit of a spoiled brat, but I was also kind of sweet and endearing when I was yelling and being really annoying. So, without further ado, let's check out this video.
Open this big box there, Ian.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up. Somebody else didn't open another one. Gregory, here. Well, we got enough videos to watch.
Watch!
Seems to be working pretty good there, Ian. Yeah. The sound's gonna be poor.
You see, I didn't try going off of these drugs for me. I tried to do it for him. Because I wanted to reach out to that 3-year-old and tell him that everything was going to be okay. I wanted to give him a big old hug and tell him that that Flintstone launch was awesome and that everything's going to be okay. I did that in hopes of finding that 3-year-old and turning him into a person that people will call. You see, every time I try to go off of Concerta, it's because, a friend of mine won't reach out to me, or I piss somebody off, or just things socially aren't going well. Like, I don't have a lot of friends, and it really bugs me. Because I'm Mr. Acceptance. You could see that in the video. I didn't care about that Flintstone watch. I just wanted that feeling that I had belonged, that I fit in. That's what I wanted. And I got it a lot. I mean, in that video, it makes it look like they weren't paying attention to me because they were tired of paying attention to me. That was the whole point, but the fact of the matter is, it's not easy for me to fit in. And instead of just accepting that and trying to find ways to be less intense, to try to think of other people rather than just trying to think about myself, I just go to the Concerta because that's an easy thing. Well, when I'm on this stuff, it turns me into somebody that I'm not really like. When I go off my drugs, I just turn into a big kid. That's awesome when you're basically before the age of 9. But then after that point, you gotta grow up. So you know what? I'm not doing this 3-year-old a disservice. I'm helping him out. He needs to know that his biggest obstacle is Gregory James Hulse. But that Concerta is actually an ally in his fight. Taking these drugs for me right now feels right, makes me the person that I want to be. And maybe down the road that'll change, but for right now, I'm happy. I think 3-year-old Greg is happy too.